Hello, Internet. Welcome to the very first edition of Square Circle Discussions with T and M.
What up?
Today, we'll be discussing Monday Night Raw from July 24th, 2017.
So, last night.
I think they already knew that.
Well, still.
So Kurt Angle opens the show to come up with comes to the ring. He leads in the "You Suck" chants. You know, everyone's going nuts. Everyone's going crazy. He has a big smile on his face. Comes to the ring, grabs a microphone, and he begins with recapping Raw last week, including the reveal of Jason Jordan being his illegitimate son.
I still don't know what to think about that. Did not see that coming.
Keep telling you it's a kayfabe storyline.
I know that, but still. I still didn't see it coming, even with the storyline.
Oh, okay, no, wait, now you're actually convinced. There was a point she actually thought it might have been real.
Oh, please.
But shortly after he cuts his promo on Jason Jordan, who tonight will be making his debut on Monday Night Raw later tonight. We'll begin to that as we go along further with the show. So, and then comes up the topic of SummerSlam.
Yep.
Discussion of who's going to face Brock Lesnar
For the title.
who would be number one contender. And of course, before Kurt can say anything much else,
Guess who comes out?
Braun! The Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman. Saying basically what I was saying basically for the last 2 weeks. He won his match at Great Balls of Fire, unlike Roman and Samoa Joe, and he feels like he's the next contender for Brock Lesnar, which at the time I felt he really was. Everyone wanted Strowman and Lesnar. Yes, I know you wanted Leah D.
What? I'm sorry. I love the Shield, okay? Don't mind me.
Hence, she said Shield, and not no one else.
Oh, come on. All three of the boys from the Shield, so Roman, Seth, and Dean, are all really incredible athletes.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. How's that? And then after that, Samoa Joe, of course, music hits next. Comes out
and interrupts both of them.
pretty much saying that how he doesn't fear Lesnar, he definitely doesn't fear Strowman.
And we all know that he doesn't fear Roman.
Well, yeah,
for
pretty much.
Whatever reason.
So he tells Kurt to make the right decision as towards SummerSlam. And then, of course, Roman comes out.
Yep. And there was people actually cheering for him, which kind of... It did kind of blow my mind, because lately he's been being booed. And it's kind of understandable given what happened at Mania. But, well, it's gotten worse since Mania. But anyway,
And basically Roman, being the uncharismatic anathema he is, comes down to the ring and says, what has Strowman and Joe done in their short time at the E? Unlike Roman in the last 5 years, who's been Tag Team, Intercontinental, US, and World Champion, and Royal Rumble winner. And, of course, multiple Mania victories.
including...
Which I'm sure Vinny just loved serving to him on a silver platter. Anyways. So then Kurt Angle says, you know what? Screw it. We're making this the main event for SummerSlam is going to be a fatal 4-way for the Universal title, with Brock Lesnar defending his title against Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. And then, of course, all 3 men brawl out in the ring and we get along with the show.
Which, involves getting security and then the entire male locker room
Pretty
getting
much,
involved.
And yet Strowman still came out looking strong with being the hell out of pissed out of both of them. Which, by the way...
Roman did, after all, spear most of the locker room. Although, when we were watching all this, we were like, yeah, you don't want to mess with Samoans. It will probably be the one thing you will regret the most.
That much is part true. And plus that, from what we also know, the main event for next week's Monday Night Raw, a triple threat match between said 3 participants. Who knows, maybe even the Beast might even make an appearance.
That would be interesting, actually, especially if he F5s all 3 of them.
You know, he's never actually F5 Strowman.
That would be very interesting to see.
Closest thing we ever got was when he German suplexed him a while back.
Oh, yeah, that was actually kind of entertaining.
Yes, it was. And then, of course, that ends the opening promo for Monday Night Raw, and we get to the first match of the night.
Which is Finn Balor versus Elias Samson in a no DQ match.
Who wants to come walk with Elias?
Nobody!
Comes out, does your shtick, plays his 2 strings like he always does. Tries to dedicate this song to Finn Balor.
Balor. And the entire crowd starts chanting, "We want Balor."
We want Balor.
Anyway.
Balor interrupts the promo, comes out, and they just start beating the ever-living piss out of each other. They literally start rolling out on the floor first.
And just the look on Finn's face when he came out made me go, I miss the Demon King? Like, really? Bring back the Demon King?
Oh, wait till SummerSlam.
I know, but I can still say that.
Anyways, go ahead. Continue.
So, Balor looks kind of, ticked off. It doesn't help matters that he did get smashed in the head and in the back with a guitar last week. And it was bad. But this week, okay, they end up, throwing hands, and Finn does throw his jacket at Samson, which I actually kind of thought was funny.
Well, basically, the first part of the match was Samson working on Finn's injured shoulder. He was taped up this week.
Yeah. Sad face.
Literally the first 5 to 10 minutes, just, alright, I'm just going to beat you, I'm just going to throw you into the apron with your shoulder, going to keep beating on your shoulder. Oh, I might take the tape off.
Yeah.
They brawl on the ring, get thrown around the barricade, they hit with H-Man with their signature moves.
Samson grabs a chair and then kind of pushes one of the employees out of the way to grab said chair.
Oh, this one moment of the match I found hilarious. Finn takes the steel chair and turns around to the bent direction and whacks him in the back. Oh, I'm like, oh, that was painful. And then, of course, Finn drop kicks in the corner, sets up for the coup de grace, hits the coup de grace. It looks like Finn's going for the 3 count. And then, all of a sudden, the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt, interrupts the match.
No surprise.
No, not really. You want to tell them what they did?
You mean the Sister Abigail and the creepy crawling thing, and then Elias ends up pinning?
Yep.
Barely pinning?
Pretty much had to crawl over to the pin.
Because they both got the living daylights beat out of them by Bray Wyatt.
Well, yeah. No DQ match.
So, of course he can interfere.
Yep. Oh. So Raw comes back from commercials. Some minor announcements are made. But then we get to our first backstage interview for the night with Kurt Angle and Renee.
Yay for Renee! Sorry.
Oh, don't you go there. You know you love Renee.
Of course I do. Hello. The Score? I used to watch that. That's kind of starting to show my age a little
He announced his debut match is going to be Jason Jordan's debut match is going to be with Kurt Hawkins.
Ugh.
Yep.
Why?
Emma comes in, interrupts the interview, says she has missed every opportunity that's come by her. It kind of insults Kurt through Jason, maybe saying he'll date his son. And then, of course...
And I'm just like, you just don't do that. Don't.
Leading into Kurt making the match between her and Nia Jax later on in the night.
We'll get to that later.
Well, yeah, I said later in the night.
Yep.
Let's see. And now we get into the second hour of Monday Night Raw. First hour...
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I loved the opening match at the very least.
That was good.
I had said that Rahul Draw would not be an afterthought compared to what happened on Battleground.
And we'll tell you whether or not we thought it was later. But let's get to the next match, which I believe was Enzo versus Big Cass.
Yes, they announced a rematch between the two for tonight.
Why? I don't know.
So Enzo comes out, does his little dancing shtick, calls everyone a softie.
Especially Big Cass, because, well, there's still a lot of hurt feelings, which I can understand.
Hey, come on, he's a casshole.
I'm sorry, that needed to happen.
Would you say that was too sweet?
We're just full of bad puns today, guys. Don't mind us.
Oh, they'll get used to it eventually.
Of course. That's why.
So basically, it was the same match these two have been having for the last 2 to 3 weeks. A 5-minute Enzo squash, a Big Cass squash. Gives him the boot. Enzo knocks out, and then the Big Show comes out. And
well, the two of them go at it, and it's actually kind of interesting until Big Cass actually beats the living daylights out of Big Show.
Twice in a week. Twice in 2 weeks. But yeah, no, come on, you had to see that coming.
Of course I did, but still.
It leads up, they're setting up to SummerSlam.
Which I'm actually kind of looking forward to.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Alexa Bliss is backstage with Renee saying, Bayley and Sasha, their friendship's gonna end tonight. They're gonna kill over each other just to get to the title match and blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, flippin' blah.
Come back from commercials, and then we get to Nia and Emma. And then, of course, pretty much the same thing with Enzo and Cass. 2 minutes go by, she flattens Emma. 1, 2, 3. Another Nia match out of the way. Big whoop. I'm sorry, to me that was pretty much just a big whoop.
But for me, though, I still offer my congrats to Nia. Like, come on.
Yeah, she's still the same in the ring she's been in the last 9 months. There's not really much of an improvement despite what we've seen.
Still, I still offer my congrats.
And then we get to one of the more serious-ish points of the night. We get to Titus O'Neil and Akira Tozawa.
And the two of them kind of have been at odds length since Titus decided to throw in the towel for Akira Tozawa and the Arya Daivari match last week.
Well, given that Akira Tozawa is still taped up right all the way up his shoulder, he's trying to...
Still, though.
Oh, you got... Hey, look, if you're someone's manager, wouldn't you want to protect your clients from injury?
I'm not going to deny that, but still, I still wouldn't want to take off Akira Tozawa. Let's put it that way.
And so oddly enough, he basically yells at Titus to get out of the ring. He tries to call out Ari Daivari, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Neville decides comes out and just throws salt in the wound.
Yep. Tozawa ends up beating up Neville, but then Arya Daivari comes out and
odd enough beats both of them up.
Yep.
And then odd enough now, all of a sudden Arya Daivari now has a match against Neville on 205 Live. I'm like, that's okay, all right. You would think with them pushing guys like Mustafa Ali and Cedric over the last couple of weeks, you think
and a little bit with Rich Swann.
Yeah, a little. Well, Tim and TJP, that's a whole different thing. But you would think one of those two would get into a storyline with Neville, considering how SummerSlam is only 4 weeks away.
Yeah.
And Arya Daivari, ugh.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then, after commercials and stuff, there's a Jason Jordan interview with Renee talking about Kurt Angle being his idol and being how he finds out that his biological dad. Blah blah blah.
Basically, selling the storyline further along.
Yeah. And then we get to a locker room scene where it's Seth and Dean.
Oh, yes. Oh. Yeah, you can go into that one because I know you want to talk about it more than me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Because, you see, they ended up announcing a match where it's a handicap match, 2-on-3. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus The Miz and The Miztourage. Ugh. Anyway, so Seth and Dean are back in the locker room talking, and, well, Dean does kind of diss Seth, and, well, given what Seth did, 3 years ago, kind of, betraying both Dean and Roman, I can understand why there still might be a little bit of tension, but that diss there, oh my god, my jaw dropped and everything.
It's funny. Sometimes you remind me of that wrestling fan who goes, "It's still real to me, damn it." Sometimes you remind me of that kind of wrestling fan. Just sometimes when you talk about storylines like this.
Well, it's because I get excited when it comes to things having to do with the former members of the Shield.
I know, just from my eyes, it's funny with that.
Of course. It's always funny when it comes to... Anyway.
Okay.
Then the next match
see, one of the better matches of the night. Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the #1 contendership for Alexa Bliss's Raw title at SummerSlam.
Bliss comes out to watch the match at the commentary.
Oh boy, did this match get a little ugly at times.
Like, damn!
They really teased the whole Sasha Bayley breakup thing in this match. They really did. They really pushed it hard. And it was a really good back and forth match. One of the better matches. It's not the best match I've seen with the two, but it's
definitely better than what I've seen recently.
Exactly.
Like, way better. Like, wow.
Let's see. Early pinfalls. Let's see. A couple. Both. There was even a point in the match where both Bayley and Sasha hit each other with separate knees and knocked them both out, which they skipped with a 10. Which they both escaped with a 10 count.
Somehow. And well, Sasha ends up doing her frog splash a la Eddie Guerrero.
Oh yes, I will get to that. Didn't she? Before that, wasn't there also a point in the match where she had the bank statement on twice?
Yep, and both times Bayley was able to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was like, whoa.
And here, the finish I loved of this match. She goes for the frog splash. Bayley rolls her over in a reversal and scoops her up for the pin.
And wins, and then the two of them are kind of looking at each other, and we're like, is there major tension now?
But yes, despite what everyone thought with maybe Nia Jax going to face Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, it's now a clear point given that Bayley will now face Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, and I'm thinking Bayley might actually take it back to the title here at SummerSlam.
It would make for some interesting stuff, especially if they end up building up a thing for Bayley versus Sasha for the title.
We'll have to see. I still see. We're not at SummerSlam yet. I think they might do something with Nia Jax still, because
who knows? I mean, we are still a few weeks away.
Because that's how the company works that way. But that basically ends hour 2 of Raw.
Now for the last hour, where it's a Kurt Hawkins interview with Renee, and he just starts going on about Jason Jordan this, Jason Jordan that.
Oh, I can clear this. I can summarize this up in a couple good sentences here. Let's see. Debut match for Jason Jordan. Kurt Hawkins slaps the shit out of him. And then Jason Jordan basically mops the floor with him.
Within a minute.
This is how we sweep the Hawk, sweep the Hawk, sweep the Hawk.
Anyway.
Hits a new finisher, gets a 3 count.
Within a minute.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it was like 2 minutes.
Not even.
Meh.
A minute.
But yeah, that was basically just a good time. That was basically just a piss match at that point. The next match, though, was really exciting. We had the Revival come to the ring for an interview with Charlie Caruso.
Yep.
And Revival kicked her out of the ring and started delivering a promo of how they're the best tag team. They dominated NXT. Blah blah blah.
They ended up dissing the Hardy Boys.
Mm-hmm. And then oddly enough, I loved this part. The Club of all things came out and did a face turn promo on the Revival, which led to an impromptu match. It was very back and forth because the Revival and the Club kind of have similar wrestling styles.
Yeah.
And then of course, who comes out at the end? The Hardy Boys.
Of course. And they end up
picking the bones, big brawl, all that stuff.
Yeah. And of course the Hardy Boys do their poetry in motion, twist of fate, and they almost do a swanton bomb, but then the Revival roll out of the ring and walk towards the back.
You know what I think might happen for this lead up to SummerSlam? I think at SummerSlam we're gonna get a fatal four-way with these tag teams, and that way the Revival can come up with the tag team championships and not necessarily have to. Basically, they could just pin the Club, and both Sheamus, Cesaro, and the Hardys are still good. Everyone wins, and the Revival are tag team champions.
Who knows? We'll see. And then we get to the main event, which was the 2-on-3 handicap match.
Yes.
My personal
Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus The Miz and The Miz Taraj.
Ugh. Anyway. I have no love for The Miz and Miz Taraj. I don't get it. I really don't.
What? He's The Miz, and he's awesome.
No offense, but that's just my personal opinion.
Come on, he even has those awesome it kicks.
He stole those from Daniel Bryan. I'm sorry. He stole those from him. You cannot do it. Anyway.
Oh, please, like his... Okay, I'm sorry. How can I put this? The Miz... Okay, you remember when Brie tried copying Daniel's shit?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I'm still saying The Miz could do that better.
Let's just not go there. Anyway, let's get to the match.
Oh, it's the main event of the night. Basically, Dean and Seth slowly try to build working together while trying to fend off these three men.
And it actually was incredible.
Go right ahead.
Let's see. Miz and Ambrose start in the ring, then Miz ends up tagging in Axel, then Axel and Ambrose go at it, and then Rollins tags in and then dominates against Axel, which I was going, yeah, woohoo! But I can see. Dallas then ends up tagging in, and Rollins ends up dominating against him. And then from the corner of my eye, it looked as if Ambrose was actually cheering Seth Rollins on.
Well, yeah, because he didn't want to lose.
But still, given how they were, given what happened backstage earlier in the night, I was quite sure that he was literally gonna just walk away. But no, he actually stayed and was actually cheering Seth on, which made me go, huh?
So let's see. Miz does his usual net breaker, backbreaker combo. Kick out at 2. Let's see. Axel tags in, tries to dominate Rollins, and then Rollins kicks out at 2. Stomps on Rollins again. Then Bo Dallas tags in, and then let's see. Stomps on Rollins. He kicks out at 2. This match kept going for a long time, but ultimately, how did the finish go?
How about a double dive?
That's right. We got the Shield double dive.
I was like, oh my god!
Shield double dive, and let's see. Then Rollins clothesline one of the other Miz-Taraj. I think it was Axel over the top rope.
Yep.
And then we got a Dirty Deeds for the 3 count.
Woohoo!
Dean and Seth have beaten the Miz-Taraj. And it ends, oddly enough, with Dean and Seth
hugging it out.
A quick one, but yes.
But I was still like, what?
Oh please! You were shocked when Dean didn't go for the fist bump. I'm like, no, he's not.
Well, I then realized, he's still probably not quite ready for that yet. But I mean, time will tell. Things could change.
But yes, that's our thoughts so far on this episode of Monday Night Raw. We'll upload this tonight. Come back the next day for when we go over tonight's SmackDown. Find out the fallout from the Punjabi prison match and the Great Khali returning.
And speaking of Battleground, because of the bet that we took for the main event.
For those who don't know, go check her channel instead of this one here. The link will be in the description somewhere.
Of course. But yeah, we had a bet, and if my mother thought that Randy would win, and if she was right, then we had to treat her. And if we were right, which we said Jinder was going to win, and if we were right, then she'd treat us to pizza. Well, we were right, and so we get pizza. So.
Never complain about pizza.
I can't complain about
anything
like that.
True. But this has been the first edition of Square Circle Discussions. I'm T. That's M. We'll be back again soon. We'll see you all in the next video.
Yes, we just did a Shield reference.